Hey,
All right, we're live. How's everyone doing?
good.
Good.
Good. All right, Fede, you want to start us off?
All right. um, I've been trying to fix Haley today. We hit that Slack limit for messages, so yeah, I fixed that. Should be working now. I don't know if you tested. Um, so yeah, I've been working on that. And now I need to fix that count history.
Mhm.
That for some reason is not storing the right values. So yeah, I've been working on that. I don't know if you were able to do the impact test action for production. The master one worked.
For which one? What test?
Uh, I did the test action for master and it worked. And you said that you were going to do the test on production for impact.
Oh, for impact.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a chart. Although I used a coupon code, so it comes out to 0. I don't know if that's.
We need to see like the test action on the impact website. If it's
Oh,
not there, then it didn't work.
do you have access
Uh,
to it? Are you able to trigger it?
just by like creating a subscription should trigger the action using the that
Yeah, I did
link.
that yesterday. Let me see if it showed up. So for those that don't know, we're using Impact for affiliate marketing to try to make our kind of like our sales team. And we're pretty close to getting the integration done. We've been at it for over a month now. Um, a lot of it because the lead guy was on vacation. Where did I find this? This is in the transactions,
Yeah,
best actions.
transaction test actions. Yeah.
I see one.
Yeah, that's mine.
That's
Um,
yours. So let me start a new test.
yeah,
Public
it's going to
terms,
take a while. So
online tracking, and then the custom landing page. We're just going to use the default one, right?
yeah, should be with the default one.
Test. I start my test in a new window. So, all right, I'll do that after stand up.
All right. After you do that, reply to the email thread that we have with Zach, and then we should be good if that works.
Okay, all right, I will finish that. Although I do get this problem where since I have like many workspaces, when I get to the /slack auth, I always get something is wrong. I have to clear my cookies to fix that.
Okay, and if you need to like delete a subscription or something like that to do the test, you can go to Stripe and cancel the subscription as an admin.
And then
Uh,
redo it. Yeah.
yeah,
Um, okay. So you don't ever see the something is wrong screen on.
I've seen it on Dev, never on Pro, but I don't have like
Yeah.
that
I
many
don't know.
workspaces.
So when something is wrong shows up, does that get posted in our logs?
I don't know. I don't think so because it's different and maybe it's on the analytics, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I get a 400 on billing backend. I also see a error bad request. All right, let me quickly show you this. So some Ajax call. Okay, we'll look into that.
Yeah.
All right, Alice, you want to tell us about your fun with Sweep?
Yeah, sure. So I installed Sweep on our environment. I use Cloud Run for it, and it kind of works, but it doesn't work. Uh, let's see, what does it look like? If I like, if you guys go to a Morton website, the issues, there's a couple of there. One of them is like Sweep rewrite the README. Okay, so Sweep responded with the eyes emoji, and then it commented something with a progress bar that's at 0%, and then it just doesn't do anything else. So
Stuck at
I
zero.
also hmm.
Stuck at 0%.
Yeah, exactly. So I also try to run it on GC as the they want me to in their guides, but that didn't work at all. So I'm about to email them with the issues that I've encountered.
Yeah, once we get this going, and maybe we can do a few pull requests where it, writes the code correctly. Um, I'll see about if they're interested in maybe a case study that we can work on together. Like Upmortem uses Sweep as his junior dev. This is the issues we've run into. This is how we fix it. That sort of thing. So um, I'll probably reach out eventually about partnership with them. What they're doing is pretty damn cool. So I think it's just going to get better and better. As the LLMs get better, and they're open source, we can run it on our stuff. And the one thing that'd be cool is if we can plug and play different LLMs to try out. All right, thank you, Alice. Yura.
Yeah, I've almost finished the prototype of the semantic search feature in Heli. I will have to bother Fede to find out how to integrate licensing and all this required checks. But so I was a little bit blocked by this, by Heli not working. I wasn't able to test it in master. So now I want to do some final tests and then push my changes to the repo. That's it.
Okay. Do you have it in a branch?
I'll create one. I have one locally.
Okay. Yeah, push it just to save your work. All right, great. Yeah, Fede, if you can help out Yura on that. And
Yeah,
then you
sure.
guys sync on the front end work that you have to do for the results section. So we did see like some competitors in the space. One was like Glean. They have an app, but they do much more. They do like any kind of data source that you can then search on their. I think you can do it in Slack also. So I mean they're a big company and stuff. Um, and then was there any other? There's a few other apps that show up for search, but not
No, just
really.
Slack.
Yeah, Slack is our main competitor. We'll see what they're going to announce this week for their search stuff. Um, and then my Google Ads still haven't started running, so that's going to be a good indicator of like interest. Because if this person is looking for better search for Slack, and it still doesn't do our beta or add our app or anything, then we're in trouble, and then we need to find a different problem to solve, right? So that'll we'll get like V1 out the door for semantic search, and it'll be part of our enterprise plan. But we're not going to like super iterate on it because it's not a problem that's going to generate revenue. So the other idea that I had yesterday was uh, have Haley generate automatically workflows in Slack. So you just give it the high level thing that you want her to do, and then Haley figures out how to create that workflow, as opposed to having to do everything manually. So that's the current idea. Open to other ideas that you guys have, like how do we improve Slack, and what's something that we can do in Slack that Slack doesn't come in and just eat our lunch. Or even outside of that, things that we know Slack's not going to do because it's so outside of their ballpark, um, but it's also very relevant to the users of Slack. majority of the Slack users, companies are tech related, right? They're like computer software personas. Not necessarily that they're all developers, but they're working in tech, right? So what's something that we can provide a value to them there? So hopefully our tests go well and we don't have to like do like a extreme pivot or anything. But that'll be a very telltale sign, because my ads that I did, I have like, I think like 10 different headlines and a bunch of different descriptions. So Haley helped me generate all that stuff. I just did the copy pasting. It's going to do all the combinations, right? And try to figure out what's the most effective to drive traffic, to get the clicks that we want. And then the other thing I can optimize is our landing page, which is the smart search page. And then maybe some, I'm not going to like say, oh, we suck after a few days, we're not getting any clicks. Or if we are getting clicks and they're going there, but they're not signing for the beta, then I can start tweaking the website, right, to drive them to the beta page, which right now is a Google form that we have to just collect information. Today I do have a meeting. I'm doing a podcast with Suvi about her startup, and then I'm meeting with a beta user that reached out to me on LinkedIn that wants to try out semantic search. So I mean, you're a Fede. As soon as you guys can start getting any alpha code that we can tinker with, then I can start throwing it at possible beta testers to get some feedback. And I shared with you guys this video from like 8 years ago about like a startup school from YC. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI. And the key takeaway was, there's a lot of takeaways in that video, but the key takeaway is that in the beginning, you're kind of doing everything manually, like getting those beta testers. And then you need to get those people to the point where they love the app so much that they're just telling their friends. And then it's like a word of mouth growth. It's a bad idea to just dump a bunch of advertising dollars and marketing and all that sort of stuff until you have the product right? Because then people will try it and discard it, and it won't get word of mouth viral growth, right? So the beta users are going to be pretty key. I reached out to one of the guys that signed up. I think he was Russian. Signed up for Haley, waiting for a response there. And then the good news is, we got accepted for full pitch for NSF, which is non-dilutive grant money if we get the full proposal accepted. So I've been spending my morning today just looking at different things about like how to, send in the stuff. What are some examples of previous companies that have done it and got it successful? And so it might not be enough to be like, we're going to solve, smart search. We got to either make the problem sound harder than it is. Like, oh, it's so hard to do a vector database, and it's at the high level concept is not that hard. So might have to like just make the problem a little more difficult, or the problem that we're trying to solve, explain it in a way that, we've solved this, but we need to go and make it 10 times better. How do you do that, right? So the stage 1 grant is up to almost $300,000 because it grows every year and they account for inflation. And then you split the research with if you do a SBIR, that's just you're by yourself, you're the organization. But you can also do a STTR, which is like tech transfer research, where you partner with a research institution. So I reached out to my former advisor. She politely declined because AI is not her space. I reached out to one of my PhD committee members. Like I said, he's like top guy in databases in the world. Not just in UC Santa Barbara, but in the world. You can see his publications, like it's all the top journals and conferences and that sort of stuff. So he said, yeah, let me know if you want me to put me on there, put me on there. I'm like, great. And then he recommended 2 UCSB professors that are in the AI space And then I looked at both, and the one was a really good fit because he's done a chat bot where he takes third-party documents and then you can chat about the documents, right? So like that's pretty transferable to what we're doing. Instead of documents, we're doing Slack messages, and even we want, me and you have been talking about this, be able to find files, right? Like get the summary of the file and put it as an embedding, or even do a sliding window on the document, put those as embeddings so that you can get matches on files that are relevant. And the other thing that people, I'm getting blinded by the sun here, hold on. The other thing that people run into is someone will share a link and then they're like, oh, I can't find that link. So how do we, if we see a link, go to the link, parse out, get a summary, maybe do the sliding window of embeddings so that someone can find links that were shared before easily. And this is a problem I've run into. Same thing with files. Sometimes I just can't find I don't remember the name of the file, or I don't match the summary exactly, right? So, but we'll really only dive into that stuff if our initial experiments and our ads make sense. Like, I don't want to double down on solving a problem that no one's going to pay for, right? So that's kind of what's been going on. And then now I'm waiting back to hear from that one professor from UCSB. And if I don't ever hear back, I'm not that far away. I will go to his office and knock on his door. I'm like, why don't you respond to my email, dog? So one of our interns is at UCSB and I want to go visit him. So maybe I'll two birds, one stone, and visit Jag Raj and try to see if the professor's in his office. All right. Anything else?
What do you think about the video I shared with you about all these GVD applications? Have you had a chance to watch it?
Yeah, I saw it. Watched it yesterday. What he was showing off was in line with what we're doing, right? Like the vector database for like your long-term proprietary data, coupled with the LLM. Was there a particular app that you thought was?
Yeah, we just can use this video as an explanation of what we're doing because it describes it pretty well, and some other aspects of applications.
So we'll create our own, as a part of our blogging initiative. I can even show you guys the data I look at. So console search, present screen, performance. Okay, so for SEO, we're generating, I'm doing like up to 2 blogs a day sometimes. So because it's low effort, right? I just give a high level thing and it comes out with a perfectly written, Haley's like, here's a perfectly written blog for you. Sometimes she does skimp on, she'll put like a 1-sentence thing for a subsection. I'm like, no. So I'm like, hey, you need to give me at least 5 sentences for stuff. And then we had that problem today of if the response is too long, then it would crap out because Slack wouldn't let it through. So you can see here our trajectory is in the upward for impressions on Google, right? It spiked on the 8th, went down. I think the weekends it always goes down a little bit, and then it's back up. So the more blogs that we generate that are on topic, for Haley shouldn't be generating blogs about whatever. It's got to be really relevant to what she does and stuff. So today I did a blog I took our Slack API service file from our source directory, gave it to Haley, and I said, write me a blog about this. And then boom, she did a blog based off how we do, how we handle Slack messages and chunk and all that sort of stuff. So that's posted on the website. And then I did another blog about, I think I shared it on our Slack channel, about 10 essential Slack keyboard shortcuts. So this actually was, when I was trying them, like, oh shit, that's actually pretty cool. So like if you do a command / it'll take you to the keyboard shortcuts in Slack, and then it shows you all the different stuff that you can do to become even more efficient inside of Slack. Um, Back when Windows came out, Bill Gates was a big guy that was like, hey, whatever you can do with the mouse, you better be able to do with the shortcuts, right? So when I was using Windows in the early going, I would try to stay away from the mouse as much as possible and then do everything with the keyboard. So same sort of thing here with Slack. The more you can do there, the more you'll be able to jump around without having to move the mouse around. All right, anything else? Yeah, Vim is Vim. There's no Slack Vim plugin, right?
Yeah. I
So-
didn't see one.
Yeah, I think I tried doing like Vim mode on Visual Studio Code, and then I was like, no, I'm just gonna stick with Vim. I don't want to use hard habits.
It worked well for me though.
Oh, using Vim mode and Visual Studio Code?
Yes, it's still not Vim, but much better than regular Visual Studio.
Alice, you're a Vim user, right? Alice,
Yeah,
you're
she
muted.
is. I've seen her.
Yes.
She's actually a much more power Vim user than me. Like I've always watched other people and they start chopping up the window, right? Like split, and then jumping around. And I learned it, but then I don't like keep using it, so then I forget the keyboard shortcuts to split the windows and jump around, or use a screen or something like that.
There's like a wiki for all the Win stuff somewhere.
Yeah. So although I'm trying not to like I dive into development, but I'm trying to give that up so I can focus on the marketing effort and driving traffic and just optimizing for that. So once we have Jagraj, he actually, I think most of you guys are Slack owners, right? He went and it was like 1 a.m. He was up and working on that. So he got to the point where he installed Haley in the workspace. So we'll see what the feedback is on the README. And then once that's done, I do have a dev.to blog announcing open source Haley and all that fun stuff. Not sure if I don't know how to trick dev2 to get us ranking in terms of popularity. So we'll just do just keep throwing articles until something hits. All right. Have a good one, guys and gals.
NSA.
Bye.